This is Jim Minion from Two Loose Screws. I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Now listen, Libertius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seed.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
Yeah, just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome aboard. It's the Barbecue Central Show. We talk about live fire, barbecue, and grilling items or anything else that's important. For instance, the breaking news that just happened before the show went live, actually a few hours before the show went live. Emily Detweiler, CEO of KCBS, has tendered her resignation. She will finish out the rest of the month, and that will be it as her time as CEO of KCBS. We will have her on the first Tuesday at the 10:14 p.m. Eastern segment. The first Tuesday in August. Sam, the cooking guy, is usually in that segment. He'll be here in about 12 minutes from now. And he will be in Canada, not able to make it, and luckily we'll be able to backfill very, very nicely with the former CEO of KCBS, Emily Detweiler. This show is being brought to you from right here in
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
As I had mentioned, still to come on the show tonight, Sam the cooking guy, and closing out the show in the proverbial food bullpen, Bill Oakley, the official fast food reviewer of this show and fast food reviewer and critic on his own. That Bill Oakley on Instagram if you want to follow him over there. Don't forget you can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat /BBQ Central Show on Facebook and Twitch for a video feed. Also /RD Rempe on YouTube for a video feed and a quite lively chat going on. We're also audibly available on Clubhouse as well. Now, should I do this in advance just to see? Why not? I'm going to throw caution to the wind and invite my pal Johnny Mac here. John, can you hear me?
Hi, Greg.
Hey, it works this week. Well, great. All right, well, you, of course, are a previous winner, so if Rod Schrader is continuing to hang around, we'll see if he wants to play first, and if not, we'll get you back up on stage and see if you can't win another round of What Does Sam Like Best. So if you don't mind, I will move you back to the audience, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that over the next handful of minutes, the connection doesn't drop from Clubhouse, but it seems to be a finicky piece of software, to say the least, or the best. Where are we at? Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this Friday, episode 236 will hit the podcast feed, taking you back to July 1st, 2014, where we feature pitmaster of Simply Marvelous, the genie Steph Franklin. You might find it interesting to note, as you will hear in the show, that Big Mista, one of the original fans and guests here on this show. Neil, what's up? Husband to the Ghetto Country brand mother, by the way, who's also been on this show, Mrs. Mista, who she was known formally. Neil was actually the one responsible for introducing Steph to competition barbecue back in the day. Neil was a pretty big name on the competition scene back in the day, also one who was really into utilizing farmers markets, where he was in South LA. I think he was at the Watts and other farmers markets around that general area, really utilizing, I would say exploiting, but only in a good sense, of getting his barbecue out into an area that perhaps wasn't really utilized as much. But again, a huge name back in the day, since kind of gotten out of that portion of the industry, still cooking, but really not a force in the barbecue world anymore. So anyway, we learn about Steph's catering business and how he also got into the rub business. For years, Simply Marvelous and Big Papa Smoker's rubs were linked together because they made up the very popular West Coast offense. There was always a lot of talk about what is the West Coast offense. As the years have worn on, it has become more and more apparent that as long as you used Big Papa Smoker's rubs and Simply Marvelous rubs in some combination, that was, in essence, a West Coast offense. And the flavor profile, many different cooks were using at that point, still do currently, and doing really well at it. So if you are familiar with the Genie, this is a show you want to check out. And don't forget, if there's a guest or a segment that you want to hear again that's been lost in the archives, email John and let him know what you would like to hear, JON at thebbqcentralshow.com. Upcoming shows for the rest of this month include first-time visits with famed writer Larry Olmsted, Jonathan Jones for the first time as well, Leanne Whippen on to talk about Barbecue Hall of Fame. Jess Pryles will be here. Obviously, Sam the Cooking Guy coming up here in just a few short moments, but we have a ton of other great stuff coming up for the rest of the month, so stay tuned for that. Now, well, I was going to mention that I have just locked up my deal with the folks over at Hartville Hardware for the Grill Fest 2022. That'll take place September 17th. More on that to come, but my deal is locked in. I believe Diva Q will also be there, and I will talk about some other guests, and perhaps I will have those other guests on to talk about it as the event draws closer. Again, that's September 17th. That's a Saturday. I will be there all day, emceeing, interacting with the live demos. It's going to be great. But here's what we really want to talk about this evening. As I had mentioned on the way out of the first hour and coming into the second hour, the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest took place July 4th, of course. Joey Chestnut took part in that, of course, and won again. His 15th in a row. Now, last year, did he do 76 hot dogs and buns? Not 54. He ate 76 wieners? Yes. This year, I think it was 64. There was a lot of talk about how he was so much further ahead than everybody else at the mid-50s. He just put it on cruise control. It was hot. The weather wasn't perfect for him. And he has talked about it on this show that there are perfect eating weather conditions for him, especially when it comes to the hot dog, because as he had said, he's not somebody that eats, waits for the competition to end, and then goes offload the hull. He actually lays down for a number of hours afterwards and digests all of the hot dogs, all of the buns, all of the water, all naturally. He doesn't throw up, doesn't do his own reversal of fortune, nothing. So this is what happens when you do it the right way. You have to lay down and take a few hours off, let all 10,000 calories and 8 pounds or whatever he put on in a 10-minute frame, which seems very unhealthy, but he goes to the doctor 6 times a year, gets checked out routinely. And this isn't the only eating contest that he does. He does a number of them a year. He's like the Tiger Woods of competitive eating. They pay for him to go places. They give an appearance fee, and then if he wins, he also gets that money. So he's very good at what he does. He's the most well-known competitive eater. But who gives a crap about all of that?
Get that big stuff out of here.
I'm going to switch screens now, so you won't see. Actually, I'll overlay myself at the top right here. At this stage of the competition, you can see Joey here. You can see my cursor rolling around. Here's Joey right here. He's got 16 hot dogs down at the time to the left of him, or I guess that would be to his right. Somebody's at 10. There's a couple other guys at 12. So at worst, he's 4 ahead. At best, he's 6 ahead of the nearest competitors. So he's well on his way. He's 40 away from the number he ends up attaining. But what do you think happens? Well, if you missed it, here's exactly what happens. Somebody comes in, bumps Joey, but wait, boom, boom. What the hell just happened there? If you missed it again, there's obviously a protester. Here he comes. If you're missing it, he's right here in the middle, in between Joey and this guy. He's got a sign that says some kind of nonsense, getting his message out. He probably thinks he's a pretty cool guy. Maybe there's some gal in the audience that's like, you won't do it, and if you do it, I'm going to lay down for you. I mean, who knows? This guy, so invested in getting that sign out in front of the television, bumps Joey Chestnut. Almost knocks him to the ground. Look at this. Boom. Knocks him off his pedal. Now, keep in mind, Joey Chestnut working on a torn Achilles. He shows up in a boot and crutches. He's a hobbled man. Gets bumped. Almost goes to the ground. Joey does not even blink an eyelash after he gets his wits about him as I roll it back here. Here's a guy at this stage. This guy thinks, man, I am pretty cool right now. I get my message out, expose Mythfield's Death Star. I think it was a protesting of actually Smithfield, which is sponsor of this show. So, of course, we hate that. But this guy's feeling pretty good about himself right now. And then right about here where Joey gets his wits about him, right arm goes right around his throat. And then right about here, this guy realizes that maybe getting laid and getting his point across is not the best idea that he's ever had, because Joey Chestnut is now not putting the jaws around the hot dogs, or glizzies, as I've been told they're called. He is now putting a chokehold, a death chokehold on this guy, and then proceeds to rip as hard as he can to the right. I can't confirm this. I looked up all over the internet. I'm pretty sure that Joey Chestnut killed this guy. If this isn't the textbook look of every movie of some hero or villain breaking some guy's neck with a quick turn to the right, I don't know what it is. Plus, the guy falls down and you never see him get up. Take a quick look at this. Bump, right, snap, and then boom, down he goes. You don't see him get up. He falls right down with a snapped neck. He's probably paralyzed. What have we learned from this? Joey Chestnut is not to be played with. Torn Achilles, showing up in a boot, on crutches, 17 dogs in, bump, right arm around the neck, break your neck. If that isn't the most unbelievable piece of footage that I have ever seen, who cares that he put... And then he got down to eating 40 more hot dogs after that? A mere bump in the action. You bumped me, I just broke your neck, and now I'm going to get back to eating 40 more hot dogs. It's insane. I can't believe that happened. Didn't even think twice. He probably saw the Darth Vader mask and was like, this guy's a complete douche. I can take him. So he did. Wow. That's some of the most impressive competitive eating, non-competitive eating footage I have ever seen in my life. And I would love to get Joey Chestnut back on the show. Who cares about the hot dogs? I want to talk about how he broke that guy's neck. Broke his neck. Wow. Sam the Cooking Guy, I'm sure, has a thought or two about Joey Chestnut breaking some guy's neck on record and then eating 40 more hot dogs just to pass the time. Before we get to Sam, Yoder Smokers designs and builds all of their products right here in the States, and building pride through craftsmanship and world-class customer service is the backbone of how they've built the company. This approach translates into what can be a truly bespoke style product that elevates gatherings with friends and family. Honored to have a trusted place in the backyards of America. From pellet grills to wood-fueled offset pits or charcoal grills, consistent blue ribbon flavor has become synonymous with Yoder Smokers' name. Make no mistake, Yoder Smokers' flavor-driven design is unique to each style of pit, and the team has developed their cookers to perform time and time again while outlasting the competition for generations to come. It's this generational thought that's rooted in the handmade products and defines the integrity of the core values, handmade quality, and endless flavor. The benchmarks of Yoder Smokers. Visit yodersmokers.com and grab yours today. We are back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the Ryder Deluxe Pellet Grills from Oklahoma Joe's. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes and a host of accessories. Whether you're just a beginner or you're a seasoned professional, definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. My next guest is a YouTube cooking sensation with 3.34 million YouTube subscribers at last check. He has won many Emmys. He once told Hoda Kotb and Kathy Lee Gifford to pay attention 1 minute and is in the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Let's head to the Oklahoma Joe's Rider DLX Pellet Grills hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, Sam.
Friend of the show. I love that, man.
Yeah, I always like to say friend of the show. Anybody that's ever been on the show once and then comes back on again.
All it takes once.
Well, once, but do you think you have to come back on again?
I mean, you could have like a huge asshole on this show, and if they were only on once, but were an asshole,
no,
they would be a friend of the show.
You have to be on once and then come back. So then you are a friend of the show. If the
guy's an asshole, if the guy or woman is an asshole the first time,
well, then I wouldn't have them back on.
Back a second time. Wait a minute, maybe they're good entertainment.
I mean, you better be really good entertainment, like better than Sam the Cooking Guy or you name it.
I asked Hoda Kotb and Kathy Gifford to stop talking, and I thought that would be my end of my appearances on the Today Show. That was my second time. I went back 10 more times because they recognized that I was fun and maybe a little out of the box, but good entertainment. I just didn't go back with Hoda or Kathy Lee. So you might have a guy on that's a complete asshole. You choose to have him back because he's controversial. Look, like when Meathead falls asleep, or maybe it's good entertainment.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So you have the person on. If they're an asshole, are they still a friend of the show, or are they then an asshole friend of the show?
Well, in the way you're describing, if they're an a-hole to me, then no, you're not coming back on the show, and you're definitely not a friend of the show. But again, if you're being bristly or you're controversial or you're irreverent, that's a term I like to use, and maybe you've offended listeners, then yes, you are a friend of the show the next time you're on. Why not?
Good,
a lot of people find Derek Riches to be bristly. I have him on monthly, and
I like you.
He's a friend of the show.
He's a great guest.
Yes, very good.
Love listening to him.
Hey, do you want to play What Does Sam Like Best?
The only reason I'm on here is to play What Does Sam Like Best.
All right. Do you want to know how we're going to play What Does Sam Like Best?
If it's one of the 2 or 3 people that are always on, then I'm not playing.
No. Tonight,
go to your little room and see if you can find somebody.
Yeah, I got Clubhouse on right now. I'm inviting somebody that typically isn't on. Now, usually this guy's a city worker, so he just might be in a situation where he's not able to.
What city? What city?
Beechwood, Ohio. I've actually met this guy a couple times in person. He's a local fan of the show. I've shown my celebrity to him, and he still finds me cool enough to talk to. After,
by the way, the city workers are some of the most important people that we have.
Yes,
they really are.
All right. Well, he's not taking the invite. However,
interesting.
There is somebody else
not working again.
No. It is working. He's just not able to take the.
Only 2 people I know that use Clubhouse are you and Sean.
Yes. Well, good news.
The only 2
joining us to play What Does Sam Like Best is Joe Martinez. Hey, Joe. Joe, are you on mute? There's no way this is happening.
The music is crescendoing.
Hold on a second. There's no way this is happening because I just checked it before you came on.
Let me make a bold statement.
No, I don't want to hear it. I checked it. But if
I don't care.
Hold on.
It doesn't work.
Hold on. I know it works. Watch this.
6 people use it and they haven't. Jesus Christ.
John, you're there, right?
Hi, Greg.
See, I know it's working, but why isn't it working for Joe? Joe, are you there? Yeah. Joe, are you there? I thought I just heard him come on. No, he's not on.
I thought you said John.
All right. Joe. I'm saying Joe. He's on stage. I can see him. He's got a microphone and everything. Here's what we're going to do.
Can they just not go fix that platform? Because it doesn't work.
Well, I have no ability to. Let's do this. In order to keep some kind of momentum going, let's have John play for Rod. Can we do
John
that?
Who?
John
who?
Johnny Mags. He's won already. He won a book. But can John play for Rod?
Yes.
I
And
could
if
do
John
that.
wins, he's not getting whatever I'm
Right.
giving.
John understands. He knows what the deal is, but
And
evidently
by
he's
the
the only
way-
one that knows how to use Clubhouse.
Oh, my God.
God, I mean, I'm so nervous about this. I even checked
Why
it.
why does my shit always have to go wrong with you?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm trying to be interactive.
No, I know.
I'm doing a live show. So this is the thing that
Find another platform.
All right. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe next month. John, are you
Please,
ready to play for
Listeners
Rod?
and viewers, would you please tell Greg to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
get rid of Clubhouse?
Wait. John, hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Let's just see. Maybe Joe can play for some. Joe, are you there?
Well, he might be there, but
No, he's not there. I mean, he might be there in spirit, but he's definitely not there in real. All right,
Dear
so Johnny
Clubhouse, fix your
is
shit.
here. Johnny, in 10 seconds or less, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am the host of the Pit Life Barbecue podcast,
Yep.
which, Greg, again, thank you so much for taking some time out to join me 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
That was great.
is he Brooklyn or something? Where's he?
Boston. New England.
Boston.
Boston.
You can't mark that accent,
No,
Sam? I mean,
said like
give me a
6
break.
words.
All right, well, here we go. That seems like it's coming on incredibly loud. Was that loud? Or is it just me? Maybe I have my
No, it's
earphones up
you.
too much. All right.
It's you. Clubhouse.
So John,
Clubhouse has effed up your shit.
no, John is playing for Rod, who is busy working, I'm guessing, or he's just listening and not paying attention. We're gonna play What Does Sam Like Best? You're gonna have to answer or give me 3 out of 5 correct, and we have to do this quickly because there's some other things that I have to ask Sam about here before I let him go and then pick up Bill Oakley to talk about the Arby's Wagyu fast food burger. Johnny, did you try the Wagyu burger from Arby's?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it? Yes or no?
It was an all right burger.
All
Nothing special.
All right. I don't want to review.
Yeah.
Just yes or no. All right, Johnny. First question. Of the two, which does Sam like best? Spare ribs or baby back ribs?
Baby back.
All right. Baby back. Lock them in. Sam, spare ribs or baby backs?
You know what? I'm kind of 50-50 on that, so I'll give him his baby back. We'll start him off with a yes.
All right. It's up to you. You're the one supplying
We'll
the
start-
what do you
wait,
like
We'll
best.
start Joe off with the
Yep. Joe is... well, Johnny is playing for Rod. If we all... Joe
it's
tried
Rod.
to
Wait.
play, but he couldn't get his
Oh,
mic.
now
to
we're
work.
playing for Rod.
So
Okay,
we were always
it's
playing for Rod. Johnny playing for
Well,
Rod.
why can't Rod get on? Because it's Clubhouse.
No, because he didn't even take the... I'm not going to get into this with you. I already told you why, and then I explained why. We all agreed.
Why should he
and
be
now
allowed
we
to
have
play?
Johnny. Rod is the city worker. I asked him to come on. He never took the invite upstage. He's probably working. That's why Johnny's on.
Got it.
Johnny's very embarrassed for you, by the way. He's not going to say it, but he's very embarrassed that he has to go through.
Oh, gosh.
Question number 2. We have one in the hopper. Of the two, which does Sam like best? Chicken breast or chicken wings?
Oh. Chicken wings.
Chicken wings. All right, we'll lock them in. Sam, chicken breast or chicken wings?
So listen, I'm a dark meat guy, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Until now, because I can do so much more with breast. I can pound it thin. I can make it into a curry. I can do it in a soup. He didn't get that one.
Oh.
Breast.
All right.
Now we got a game. Now
One
we have
right,
a game. And
one
by
wrong.
the way, I'm answering honestly. I'm not doing this just to make this more fun.
Of course not. Shame on anybody that's thinking that.
Right.
So we've washed the first two. Now it's a race to get two right.
Yeah, here we go.
Question number 3. Johnny, of the 2 Barbecue Central Show recurring guests, which one does Sam like best?
Oh, this is not nice.
Steven Reichlin or Meathead?
Stephen Reichlin.
Somebody's going to be
All right,
mad.
final answer. Johnny Mag says Steven Reichlin. Do you like Meathead or Steven Reichlin?
This is very difficult.
That's all right. Sophie's
I
choice.
watch American Idol, real American Idol, not what your nonsense is. And when I hear them say, "Wait, you can't hear this, but there's a police helicopter outside of our place right now, announcing that they're looking for somebody."
Oh dear!
And I don't think it's a good somebody they're looking for.
It never is.
This is very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Steven Reichlin because his food speaks more to me.
Huh. I'm shocked.
I do love the Mexican food. I love the Mexican food.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Meathead.
No, well, see, I like to switch it up a little bit. And Meathead slept through one of his engagements.
We're still
and I
holding
gotta
that
hold
against
that
him? Wow.
Listen,
tough guy.
I am my father's son. My father could hold something against the guy for 40 years.
Wow. All right. Well, I've already forgiven him because it was funny, and then I got to bust his balls for a little bit, and then we're over. All right, Johnny.
But Reichlin, look, I'm 20 minutes from Mexico from where I am right now.
Yes.
I love his style of food.
Johnny, you have 2 right. You have 1 wrong. You have 2 questions, one of which all you need to do is get right, and you win the prize for Rod. Remember, we're playing for Rod, who wasn't able to come to the stage because he's probably working. Question number 4. Johnny, between the 2 cheeses, which one does Sam like best? Pepper Jack or mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
Oh, mozzarella. All right. I wouldn't have picked that, but that's all right. Johnny's knowing Sam a little bit better than the average Joe. Sam, mozzarella or pepper jack?
You know, we've used mozzarella a few times recently, and I've been calling it Mott's.
That's
Where's
incorrect.
The Mott's? Put the Mott's in. Let's get the Mott's in. Max goes, nobody calls it Mott's.
No. Matzah is a Jewish crack.
Mott's is the thing. No, Mott's. Not matzah.
Oh.
Mott's. So let's see. Well, I'll turn over all the cards. My choices are pepper jack. I do love my spices. There's no question. But I'm going to go with Mott's because there's way more choices.
Wow.
There's the sauce, there's the dry, whatever.
Unbelievable. All right, well, Johnny, you've done it again. You seem to know Sam better than the average guy, which is great. So, I will alert Rod that he's won through text message after the show tonight and get a shipping address and all that bullshit. Send it over to you.
Be working and not on like a smoke break or some shit like that.
I'll make sure I clear everything off and give you the right information. Johnny, appreciate you coming on the show, playing for Rod,
you,
and
Johnny.
winning, of course. And we will, of course, tune into you on the Pit Life podcast. Johnny, thanks for coming on tonight.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Sam.
And there's Johnny right there. All right, well, that's fun. A little, what does Sam like best? Good questions again, right? We still haven't gotten to question number 5 in like 3 months, and I have the best question.
I can't wait.
Best.
Why don't you put it up front next time?
I feel like this is the question 5 type question. It's not a lead question.
Listen, let me just share this with the audience, and they probably know this, but you're having guests over for dinner.
Yeah.
Right? You want to do some wine-centric kind of thing. You got a really great bottle of wine. People tend to save that. Go, let's bring it out after the steak course or the, whatever. That's a mistake because at that point, people's palates are fucked up. They've had cheese. They've had the Asian food. They've had appetizers. They've had the chicken. their palate is not what it should be. If you're going to give somebody as a guest in your home a great bottle of wine or share a great scotch with them, first thing when they walk in the door, that's when they should get it, because that's when they'll appreciate it. They won't have a polluted mouth. Won't be all jacked up from macaroni and cheese and
whatever else.
carnitas and shit.
Right. Hey, let's try this.
Yeah.
Just to see. There's this guy, Tyler Hathaway, in the clubhouse. I'm inviting him on stage. Clubhouse? I want to see if he's going to take the bait, just so I can see if his microphone works. And that way we can just blame it on Joe Martinez. But maybe he's not interested in coming on. Well, I'll just see. I'll keep an eye on him.
If this guy comes on, we should give him the stuff that we were going to give to the city worker now.
I don't know. Tyler, are you there? Tyler? Unmute your microphone. Tyler, you there?
Hello?
Hey, there you are. Great. See, this platform does work. So there's something going on with Joe's situation. Tyler,
Then
I hate
let's give it
to
Tyler.
I hate to what?
Look, I love city workers, but can we give it to Tyler?
Tyler didn't answer any questions. I mean, no offense, Tyler, right? I mean, you don't want to win a prize that you didn't win,
city workers
right?
didn't answer any questions.
Yeah, but Johnny played for Rod.
Fuck it. Let's give both Tyler and Rod a gift.
Wait. Let's do an impromptu one question for Tyler. Get it right.
Ahead.
Winner
He gets it
takes
right.
all.
Tyler gets it right.
Are you ready?
He gets. Wait, what are you saying? He gets what Rod was going to get?
No, he gets something else. You said you'd give him both prizes.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to take.
Go.
Tyler, tell us a little bit about yourself, like in 10 seconds.
I'm a chef, restaurant owner, live in Iowa.
Iowa, all right. Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your food, Tyler?
Jesus Christ.
What's his food?
What's your food, Tyler?
It's classic American stuff.
Classic, all right. Beef, corn, potatoes, all that fun stuff.
If Greg and I showed up.
All right.
If
One
Greg
question.
And I showed up.
If
Greg and I showed up, what's the one thing on your menu you would make for us?
Well, we're pretty famous for pork tenderloins around this area.
Yes, the pork tenderloin sandwich. Is it the frisbee style pork tenderloin pressed into a very small hamburger bun? It looks ridiculous.
Correct.
Yes, all right. I know that. Do you know?
Mine is not that way. Mine is not designed that way.
Do you know that sandwich, Sam? That huge pork tenderloin sandwich? No.
Is it crispy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll send you a picture of it. It'll blow your mind.
like
It's only out in that region of the country. It's absolutely ridiculous and delicious. By
well,
ridiculous,
I
mean delicious.
Next week on YouTube.
All right. Yes. How about that, Tyler? You'll get a shout out on Sam's cooking channel.
Send it. Hey, Tyler, send a picture.
Okay.
Send a picture, and we'll pimp you, and we'll put it on YouTube.
How about that? All right. Well.
All right. I'll send it your way.
A one question winner takes all.
Is this question number 5?
This is question number 5.
Question number 5.
This is it.
Holy shit.
Of Tyler.
Yes.
Of these two, who does Sam think is hotter?
Oh, I love this one.
Lucy Liu or Brenda Song? And if you're looking on video, here they are. Lucy Liu on the left, Brenda Song on the right. Who does Sam think is hotter?
Oh, God.
Hold on. Boy. Oh, boy.
That's tough.
One question to win a prize. Let's get an answer.
We'll go Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. All right, we'll lock you in. Sam, between the two, Lucy Liu and Brenda Song, as you can see right there, who's hotter?
It's very close.
Lucy Liu.
Very close.
Brenda Song. Both of them.
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu?
Yes.
All right. There he is. Another one.
Yes.
Well, only because Brenda Song looks like a mugshot, and I wonder what she just did.
You think that looks like a
It
mugshot?
might have been a good thing. Wait, let me take that back. Maybe I should go with her.
Good night.
It looks like a mugshot.
No, you
doesn't
can't take it back now. I mean, it's...
I won't take it back from our boy.
No way. All right, Tyler, you've won on many different fronts here this evening. So all you have to do, A, is Email me, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. In the subject line, put winner, and I'll make sure that email gets forwarded over to you. And then if you want to just attach that pork tenderloin image as well, you can go ahead and send that along in that email, and I'll forward it to Sam. And
here's what Tyler and Rod are going to get. They're going to get a copy of Sam the Cooking Guy, Between the Buns.
All right.
Which, by the way, Amazon said a couple weeks ago was one of the best cookbooks of 2022 so far.
Wow, look at you. Congratulations. So that's what you have to look forward to, Tyler. Send me that info, and we will make sure that it gets routed to the right place. Again, that's Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. And Sam,
by the way,
Clubhouse worked. Clubhouse worked.
Once. It worked once.
Come on.
It never worked.
All right. Well, I didn't get to ask you about any of the other stuff that I wanted to. And, of course, the official fast food reviewer of the Barbecue Central Show, Bill Oakley, is already in the green room ready to go here. So, Sam, I thank you for coming on, playing two versions. We'll talk about beer with your cousin next time. It's going to be great. Yes. I'll ask you about that huge knife that you're wielding. I'll talk to you about garlic.
Coming. You're getting one.
That's right.
It's coming to you.
Looking forward to that, Sam. Always appreciate the time, and we will. So it won't be August, but we'll see you in September when we do it because you'll be out of country.
I got to take a month off.
That's right.
You don't care the reason.
I don't.
But it's meaningless to you, but it's important to me. So.
All right. Good.
F you.
All right. F me. That's right. We'll leave it on that note. F me. There's Sam the Cooking Guy right there. Thecookingguy.com is his website. So make sure that you are following him. And if you're not over there on YouTube, subscribe. Almost 4 million of you already are, but search for him, Sam the Cooking Guy, on YouTube, and subscribe if you aren't already. Before we get to Bill, I'll talk to you about Primo Grills. What do we love about ceramic cookers? We love that they are fuel efficient. We love that you can achieve low and slow temperatures for traditional barbecue meats. We also love that they can get rip-roaring hot for high-temperature grilling of steaks and other thin cuts of meat. But what's missing in the everyday lineup of ceramic cookers? The real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking, very important to both professional and backyard cooks alike. It's the best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire in a round ceramic cooker, not very realistic. Why? Because it's round. Enter Primo Grill and their game-changing oval design. The shape gives you the ability to execute the two-zone setup that you desire. It also gives you the other ceramic grill benefits as well. Really, when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways to cook on the Primo oval ceramic cooker. They have the best ceramics in the biz. They have patented technology, true two-zone cooking capabilities, multiple sizes, and a host of accessories to complete the Primo Grill cooking experience. Again, sold through dealers only, so find one near you, primogrill.com. That's primogrill.com. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll be back with Bill Oakley right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the Ryder Deluxe Pellet Grills from Oklahoma Joe's. Let's get back to a guy who has more experience giving you his opinion than he actually has cooking. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And the segment brought to you by the company that was getting protested during the competitive eating Smithfield, the Nathan's hot dog contest. Head to smithfield.com right now for recipes as well as tips and tricks from well-known live fire cooks like Darren Worth, Jess Pryles, and Charles Cridlin. Mouth-watering flavor, no artificial ingredients. Smithfield Fresh Pork is quite simply some of the finest pork money can buy and the trusted choice of top cooks for use at competitions and at home. My next guest tonight and coming out of the bullpen is an accomplished fast food reviewer on social media, specifically Instagram at @ThatBillOakley. And we're going to be talking about a number of fast food topics here this evening during our time. So we race to the Oklahoma Joe's Pellet Grill Hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Bill Oakley. Hey, Bill.
Hello. It's great to be back.
Great to have you back, and very excited to talk to you about some of these newer fast food items. Before we get to those, Bill, as somebody who is really fashioning himself as being the leading authority of both eating fast food and then reviewing it within those minute clips that Instagram is giving you and really finding that niche. Is it tough to keep up with what's being released? And have you reached a pinnacle to a degree of where now, whether it be through the direct companies themselves or their media arm saying, hey, Bill, be on the lookout, or we wanted to let you be the first to know that we're going to be bringing out X, Y, and Z?
No. Well, first of all, it's not difficult to keep up because there's not that much. There actually is only I don't live in Florida or Texas where there are 1,000 different fast food chains. I live in Oregon where we only have about 12. So it's not that hard to keep up with the things coming out from Burger King, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, et cetera, et cetera. I should also say that it is, however, hard to keep up with snacks. I don't do just fast food. I also do snack food, and that there's an avalanche of that stuff every day. Novelty stuff coming out from every company in the world, ice cream companies, Cheetos, Doritos, Mountain Dew, all that stuff. That's hard to keep up with. So some of it I don't even try. And as far as the companies go, I think I've been cut off most of their lists, which is the way I want it because I'm a critic. I don't give them all good reviews. There's a few companies, God bless them, that still invite me to things or whatnot. But as time goes on, there isn't a single fast food chain that I haven't reviewed negatively in some way. And I think they realize that it's not worth sending me stuff if I'm going to criticize it because I have to keep my journalistic integrity, so to speak.
Well, plus you have a proliferation on social media of people that are willing to do shit for free and sacrifice any ethics or moral compass and just say how great it is with whatever following that they have so they can get something for free. My mantra and my passion now, especially in the live fire industry, is telling people, hey, forget all that. Tell these people if you have any influence over anybody, you want to get paid, you want money, and you give me that free thing on top of that. But pay me first so we can raise the ships that are in this ocean of non-pay, because that has become such a standard that I hate. I don't bring sponsors on the show that don't pay me. You're going to pay me first. We're going to agree on all the stuff that I'm going to do and how we're going to partner together. But that's part of being a professional. Like, what separates somebody that's not a professional and a professional? Getting paid. So that's why we're professional. That's why you're a professional. Give me a break.
Very true. I feel like they, I don't solicit things from these companies, but when they arrive, if I have fun with them, but I don't let them influence my opinion.
Bill, 4th of July was yesterday. A lot of the usual hot dogs and hamburgers were consumed across the country. So, two-part question to lead off here before we get into the Arby's stuff. What's the best commercial brand of hot dog and pre-made hamburger in your opinion?
I'm glad you asked me this. The best hot dog brand that I've ever had is A&H, which is Abel's and Heyman. And it's out of New York. It's been around for decades, but it's only been local. They started selling it in Trader Joe's a couple summers ago, but I haven't seen it this year, and I'm a little worried they lost their deal with Trader Joe's. But A&H hot dogs, if you Google them, they also have a full line of sausages and things like that. Right behind them is Feltman's. And Feltman's is another brand from New York that was originally the brand sold on Coney Island. Nathan of Nathan's worked at Feltman's back. It was the original like hot dog emporium in like the 1860s. So they've gotten that recipe back, and it's really good. I love those. But honestly, those are both hard to find. So I get Hebrew National, which is a very solid kosher hot dog. Everyone in the family loves it. And those are the three brands that I rely on whenever I can't get them. As far as pre-made hamburgers, I haven't really found any pre-made hamburgers that I love. I always make them by hand with just 80%, ground beef, and I think that they've always tasted just a little bit better. I don't like necessarily the proportions of the pre-made hamburgers. I prefer to make a smash burger as well when I'm frying the burger, and that requires, it requires a certain amount of texture to be able to smash down. So I don't buy a lot of pre-made burgers.
You ever had a Bubba burger?
I have. I think I had one about 10 years ago, and I thought it was fine. I don't know if they're one of your sponsors, but if so, I didn't love it as much as a regular burger, handmade burger.
Where is the best hot dog that you can get restaurant-wise? Where would you travel to get a hot dog if you could go anywhere?
Hard. I would probably go to New York and get them from one of those places like Papaya King. I think the last one just went out of business this week, though, where they've been making hot dogs, nonstop for about 100 years. Places like that. There aren't any. there aren't, Wiener Schnitzel is the only fast food chain that sells a hot dog other than Five Guys has a pretty decent hot dog that is done on the grill that they split and fry on the grill. I prefer a steamed, if I could go to one place, it would be Portillo's. I've never been to Portillo's in Chicago, that chain, but they have the Chicago hot dogs, one of my favorite foods, as well as the Chicago Italian beef and all that stuff. I would like somebody to fly me to a Portillo's.
What about best hamburger? If you could go anywhere to get a hamburger, do you have one of those?
There's a number of different places that I have been where, the hamburger, are we talking about a chain or we're talking about a local place?
Yeah, just wherever you would go that you think has the best.
The best cheeseburger, I'm not talking about a weird burger here. I'm talking about a regular burger that's kind of like fast food constructed, is in Santa Monica, California, at a place called Hi Ho Cheeseburger that makes basically what is modeled regular standard kind of In-N-Out burger type burger, but it's in every way far better than what you've normally had. It's just like they've perfected it somehow. And I know there's other places too that I haven't been to, but that's the one that I would make an effort to get back to.
Bill Oakley joining us here on the show. You can find him on Instagram at @BillOakley. 36,000 plus followers currently, which is very impressive. So last time you were on, Bill, we talked a bit about Arby's flavored vodka, but tonight let's talk about this fast food burger sweeping the nation. Did a very good job on commercials and promotion. The Wagyu burger. They even had Ving Rhames saying Wagyu. I don't think they were trying to pronounce it correctly. I think they were trying to play it up a little bit. So I assume you've tried it. I tasked my embedded correspondents last month to try at least one time because I know there were a couple different variations. 75% of us took a shit on it. 25% of us loved the shit out of it. What do you think?
I was disappointed. Here's the thing about this burger. By the way, I don't want to fill the whole segment up with this burger, so stop me if I go on because I could go on for 20 minutes about this particular burger. They billed it as a Wagyu burger, but it was really 48% Wagyu or something like that. And what I've also heard is that it wasn't actually even Wagyu, that it was this Wayngus. I'm sure you guys, your listeners know Wayngus, which is a funny sounding word, but it's a combination of Wagyu and Angus. So there was actually somebody already starting a class action lawsuit against them.
Of course.
It showed up on, somebody sent me a photo of their ad. Like, if you had the Arby's Wagyu burger, you may be eligible for settlement, whatever. So because I guess that they billed it as Wagyu and it wasn't, or it wasn't the right proportion, something like that. Anyway, so I went out there. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Arby's generally. And I was eager to get this, but honestly, I was disappointed. And I'll tell you why. It was basically just like the kind of burger that you get at not as good, honestly, as the burger you get at Applebee's or Chili's or a place like that was just kind of average and very forgettable. The meat in particular was lacking in flavor. And I think everyone who listens to your show will know that you gotta grill a burger or fry it to get the Maillard reaction. This burger was not cooked that way. It was cooked sous vide, like in plastic pouches at some factory. Then it was shipped to Arby's, where they would dip those pouches in the fryer for several minutes to heat up the burger, and then put the pouch in the or take it out of the microwave and put it in the microwave to melt the cheese. So this thing had been through a number of different steps, none of which were really guaranteed to make it tasty. The toppings were fine. I like all those toppings, and I like the buns. But the burger itself just was like eating like slightly beef flavored ground cardboard. And which I felt was a disappointment given that Arby's has such a great reputation. And, honestly, they don't have a grill in Arby's. Apparently they can only fry these things or whatever. So it was a nice try, but it didn't live up to the hype, which was immense.
I was shocked the minute I saw it hit the TV. And of course I immediately texted out to the guys and said, hey, get this done in the next 3 weeks because we're going to review it at the end of the month. Why shouldn't we? Because Wagyu is like all the rage everywhere, or Wayngus or whatever. And not only did I not have any expectation, somehow not having expectation, it was actually came in below that because there's a local chain that's right next to this Arby's that I go to 5 seconds from my house called Swenson's. It's like a car hop type place. Widely revered.
Yes, that's the home of the Galley Boy burger.
Yes, the Galley Boy
number one
burger.
fast food burger I'm dying to try.
Bill, let me tell you something. I have no hate on Swenson's. They've built a very big local chain here. They have a fan base that is blindly rabid because the food is as average as it fucking gets. And these people cannot see the forest through the trees. They will not call it what it is. Average fast food at best. That Swenson's burger, whatever a comparable size to that Wagyu Arby's would be, is $5 to $6 less. It is about as satisfactory. And I have more money in my pocket if I go to Swenson's. And I'm not nearly as disappointed because I already have an expectation at Swenson's. Somehow not having an expectation at Arby's left me still disappointed somehow with how lacking this Wagyu burger was. And again, I agree with you. When you don't have a grill, when it's not part of your wheelhouse, why are you even introducing this in the first place? There are 7 billion hamburger chains, independents, regional chains, local chains, all doing a pretty average to better than average and great hamburger. Why jump in to the fray? Is it just a marketing thing just to get some hype for Arby's going?
Yeah, there's money to be made. That's why everything is done in businesses like that. You know, they got people into the restaurant, and the people probably all ordered other things. They ordered curly fries, they ordered Jamocha shakes, and it raised people's curiosity level and got them into the restaurant, which is half the battle, if not more, these days with the fast food marketing. I mean, Taco Bell, nobody beats Taco Bell in terms of stirring up a lot of online hype for stuff that really isn't all that spectacular.
Bill Oakley joining us here on the show. So we both agree that the Wagyu burger missed the mark for both of our palates, and the other 50% of my embedded correspondents. Rusty, the guy from Utah, is the one that loved it, but whatever. Outside of the Arby's, there's a new Frosty flavor at Wendy's. I've become accustomed to just the chocolate Frosty, but recently there's been an appearance of a strawberry Frosty. So what can you tell us about this effort?
This really shocked me with how good it was. I tend to think that a lot of strawberry stuff tastes like strawberry quick, like powder. And if they use powder for this, just give me more powder. I don't think they did. I believe from what I understand about the creation of this, they bought a lot of strawberries at Wendy's. They also have a strawberry summer salad, which is very good. Mm-hmm. And they have some sort of strawberry puree that they mix into the vanilla Frosty. And making this was one of the most delicious strawberry dessert things I've ever had.
Wow.
And I hope that they still have it. They probably will have it for a few more weeks, I imagine. It's definitely something you should check out if you like strawberry ice cream, things like that. Like, I would say this was delivered too, by the way. Like, I bet if you got it right out of the place, it'd be even better, but it really blew me away. And I don't generally give fast food desserts high ratings, but this had a real strawberry tang that really I loved.
All right, so that's one that we're suggesting here tonight. Go try the strawberry Frosty over at Wendy's. And then a fast food place that I would prefer burger-wise, Burger King. A lot of people take a dump on Burger King. You usually have a McDonald's and a Burger King very close in proximity to each other, and the McDonald's drive-through line is always substantially larger than the Burger King drive-through line, at least here in the greater metropolitan Cleveland area. I'm not sure if that's the same for you out there in the Pacific Northwest, but they have a Southwestern Bacon Whopper. So another iteration of really one of my favorite fast food burgers, just the Whopper. A Whopper with cheese, no onions is one of my favorite all-time burgers. When I was at college, Thursdays were $1 Whopper night, and we'd go up and get 6 or 7, sub $10 at fries, at a Coke, and you were in hog heaven. And then you were paying for it later, but it was still great eating.
I agree with you. The Whopper, I think, is one of the best fast food burgers. Burger King, the problem with Burger King, unlike these other places, it only has a few really good items. One of which is the chicken sandwich, the Chiking.
Yeah.
Some of which are like throwback nostalgia items, like their other chicken sandwich from the 70s and stuff. But the Whopper and the chicken sandwich are the only things that would really get you to drive to the restaurant. And I love the Whopper. And I'm happy to see they're doing so many variations on it. I think that they have some new people in charge who are trying to do variations on the Whopper. And this one was the first one, I believe, and it was really good. I actually thought this was great. It's basically a Whopper with some sort of avocado-y sauce on it, and a whole bunch of tortilla strips in the middle, and also a spicy sauce. And like, as you eat, if you start around the edges, it just kind of tastes like a regular Whopper, which is good. But the more you get into the center of it, where that stuff is piled up, the more you're like, ooh, I like this. And I honestly loved it. I would love to have another one. It comes in the standard varieties, like the Impossible version, the Junior version, and like the double version as well. So I would recommend people give that a try. And talking about cost, $8.79 for this thing, at least here.
Wow.
I was like, that's the most expensive fast food burger I've ever seen. And that's not the meal, that's the burger.
What do you think about, this is a completely left field question, but when you see the stuff on television, it looks one way, and it just seems like there's not near the amount of care put into actually constructing it on the consumer side. Is there any ability, or is it just up to the franchisee's owner to hold a strict accountability on construction and appearance to make it look at least somewhat like they show you on television? Because routinely I'm disappointed in how messy it is.
My guess is no. My guess is that that they don't care at all about how it looks. They just get them out the door as fast as possible. Is the rule there? I mean, you know how TV commercials are made. Somebody spends 6 hours styling the burger with a hairdryer and all this other stuff to make it look, to make it, putting cotton balls underneath it to puff it up. So, like, I think we all know that that's fake. And there's only a few places where the food looks anything like what it would look in a photo. In-N-Out Burger being one of them, because it's a pretty simple type of burger. Otherwise, or the Big Mac maybe, but like otherwise, food just is not. We're not used to it looking like it looks on TV.
Outside of the fast food, snack wise, what's on your radar right now as being hot to eat? Things we should give a try.
If you can find them, the Old Bay Pepperidge Farm Goldfish are amazing. I don't really like Pepperidge Farm Goldfish, but these are something else. I'm a big fan of Old Bay seasoning, being from Maryland originally.
Totally, yeah.
And it is, but these have a buttery, not a cheddary flavor, a buttery flavor, but the Old Bay, best goldfish I've ever had. They seem to be hard to find anywhere anymore. Also, we got all these Mountain Dews coming out. I'm not hearing any of them are particularly good. They got like 10 different ones this summer. What else can I think of? That's pretty much, I mean, there's not a huge number. There's some Lay's. Canada always has a lot more variety of stuff like that than we do. Some mashups coming out in Canada, but nothing on the snack horizon that's really that exciting at the moment.
Have you ever had the Utz seafood seasoned potato chips? UTZ?
The crab chip.
Yeah, the crab chip.
I know Utz because it's from Maryland, and you can still buy those out here occasionally.
Yeah.
So I do get them. They're excellent.
Oh, they're
But
great.
what I really like is the Hers one. Hers, it's Hers pronounced
Yes,
Hers.
I know those. Yep.
We don't have that out here. We don't have those out here either, but people mail me them from time to time. I love all their chips. They seem to put like twice as much seasoning on the chips as every other company, which I like. And they have Old Bay. They have not only Old Bay brand potato chips, but Old Bay brand cheese puffs as well, which are excellent. So that is, if you're in an area where they have Hers, you don't take it for granted because we don't have that. And I every time I go somewhere like Wawa, is what you guys have Wawa there?
No, not here.
The convenience store chain, from like Pennsylvania and stuff like that. They have so much stuff like that. Everyone takes it for granted. Or people in Texas who have Buc-ee's, things like that. We don't have any of that here, and I would love to be able to eat there more frequently.
Breaking down the snacks and the fast foods as only he can. It's Bill Oakley. You can follow him over on Instagram at @BillOakley. Bill, always appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on tonight.
My pleasure.
There he is. Bill Oakley right there.
All guests appear via the Oklahoma Joe's Rider Deluxe Pellet Grills hotline.
Follow him on Instagram if you're not doing it right now, and hopefully you were taking notes on the snack foods to find. And, of course, Bill, a fast food scholar like John and Doug are with me, saying Arby's burger, no, we'll pass on that. It's all the same, a little overhyped. Of course, I didn't even think about that. You do a crappy burger under the ruse that it's a really good fancy boy burger or gal just to get people in the restaurant. I didn't think about that. But it makes perfect sense now. Smarter people than me continue to be out there, and that's why I am where I am on the internet. We thank Bill Oakley for joining us. Before we close out the show, I'm talking to you about week 2 with David Leans and me. David McDowell, davidleans.com/BBQ. Sign up right now and join me as I start to lean out and rip up. I had my first check-in with David New round of pictures, new round of counseling, talked about some new menu items, what I'm doing during the week, water amounts, step goals assigned, how much working out I'm doing, and how that's all translating into making a more ripped up and lean me. Am I looking to lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, stuff? No. But maybe 10 pounds, but more than weight loss. It's just reining in the ridiculous non-self-monitoring of eating. And then as I'm starting to work out and lean out a little bit because I'm getting away from all the crap, do I have some cheat days? Yes. Are they worked into the plan? Yes. Is it working for me? So far, so good. And something I'm able to stick to. But as I lean out, then we can start to get the muscle build and the ripping or the shredding, I think, as those people say. So it's working out great for me. And again, investing $200 a month in me, you can do it too. You can join me and we can track it together. DavidLeans.com. That's DavidLeans.com. And he's as available as he says he is, through text, through videos, through emails. He's always there to respond and give you options and answer questions if you have them. DavidLeans.com/BBQ to sign up right now. Do it with me. We're back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show, presented by the Ryder Deluxe Pellet Grills from Oklahoma Joe's. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Bill Oakley for joining me last segment. Back in the day, watches were made to be worn in the pocket after World War II. Wrist watches came into vogue. Pocket watches quickly became an afterthought, finding their ways into sock drawers, scrap heaps, and that's a tragedy. Luckily, Vortic Watch enters the fray, helping bring the gap between America's storied watch manufacturing past and bridging it to present day, where wristwatches are finding incredible popularity once again. Here's the coolest part about the Vortic Watch. Each one that they make is unique, one of a kind. Nobody will have the exact watch that you have. Founded on the motto that America wasn't assembled, it was built. Check out VorticWatches.com for more information. There we go. Let's get out all the way back in the first hour. Malcolm Reed rejoined us for the first Tuesday of the month regular segment. He was off last month, but he was back and better than ever in the first hour. Then we talked with Rusty Monson, and we both found out who American Idol Season 3 winner was of the Barbecue Central Show's edition, and it happened to be me. And that means Barbecue Central Idol is over. I said it. Once I win the contest, I will scrub it from ongoing seasons. But before I make that final decision, Rusty agreed I should stick with it. We'll ask John and Doug as the vetted correspondent at the end of the month just to make sure. Nobody has any differing opinions, but it looks like it's on the way out. Much reveled by all of the Centralites, I'm sure. Then we moved to the second hour. Sam, the cooking guy, joined me. We played not one, but 2 rounds of what does Sam like best. Both winners, Johnny Maggs, one for Rod Schrader, who's a city worker over here in Beechwood, Ohio. And then Tyler came in and won a one-question who's hotter, Lucy Liu or Brenda Song. And Lucy Liu took the cake, and now he wins a copy of Sam's new book, Between the Buns. And then we closed it out with fast food and snack expert, official reviewer of this show, Bill Oakley, at @BillOakley on Instagram. He says the Wagyu burger from Arby's is a dumper, and there's a bunch of better ones. But he did say the strawberry frosty at Wendy's is a complete get. So you want to try that out. And the Whopper, the new Southwest Whopper, Bacon Whopper, is an absolute get as well. So we thank him for joining. Big show planned for you next week. It's the second Tuesday, so Meathead is here, and Robert Moss is here, amongst others. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.
Hi, this is Stover, the barbecue hunk. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Have a hunky day.